Good evening, everybody. Brian Rieger here with our Thursday night We Believe Team Hangout. Want to first of all thank you all for spending a little time with us on this fine Thursday evening. A lot of cool stuff going on lately. We decided that we're going to do a little bit of a family vacation this week and just have some fun throughout the week. Tonight we will be talking probably a little bit about money. We'll talk a little bit about lifestyle and, get the legal stuff out of the way. All things aren't made equal. All people aren't made equal. So you can see our full income disclaimer by clicking the link at the bottom of the page or going to empowernetwork.com/income.php. So with that out of the way, it's just been a great week. Friday we kind of hung out around the house, swam in the pool, used the hot tub. We had a pretty cool, epic water balloon fight with myself and the kids and the family, and got to beam my wife in the face with a water balloon, which is always cool. Let's see, Saturday we drove to the beach and hung out at the beach for the day, and my daughter got stung by a jellyfish, so jellyfish 1, my daughter 0, if you're keeping score here at home. Stayed at a really nice hotel overlooking a marina in Hampton, Virginia, and just had a great old time. And then packed up Saturday morning and then drove to, I think it was Saturday, yeah, that was Saturday. And then Sunday we went and got a boat on the James River and went boating all day long and had a good old time. And then from there went to a Wyndham Resort in Glen Ellen, Virginia, which is just north of Richmond. Stayed there for the night, swam in their pool, used their hot tub, had a nice supper, and then woke up Monday morning, went to Kings Dominion all day long and spent the day riding rides and just enjoying ourselves. Yesterday did a little horseback riding. What else did we do yesterday? Went out for Thai dinner, Thai food for dinner, and then went roller skating. Today just had a little fun, bumming around the house, did some swimming, and went to Mexican for lunch. So which brings us to tonight. So, it was just, it's been a great week, and the reason I can do these things is because I don't have the standard 9-to-5 job. I didn't have to, say, hey, boss, can I get some time off to go spend some time with my family? We just decided, hey, let's go. Y'all that are here normally know that I usually have my monster-sized whiteboard behind me. We actually turned our whiteboard. We took all everyone made a list of things they wanted to do this week, and basically we just figured out a way to fit it all into using the whiteboard to what we were going to do breakfast or morning, noon, and night for the entire week. So, this weekend I think we're going to go do some camping and some fishing and kind of hang out again as a family. I think I'm going to do a big, huge seafood boil on Saturday, which should be fun. So, it's just been fun all week, and it's nice that I have a lifestyle that I can do that. And, that's what we offer is, for the people willing to work for it, willing to do what they need to do to get to where they want to get. I'm telling you that you can't beat this lifestyle. You really, really can't. So let me pass it over. We got the one and only world famous Scott Small with us again as usual tonight. So Scott, why don't you hop out and just say hi, and how's your week going?
Well, thank you for that, Brian. And my week's going good. What I see happens, and the good thing about what we do is, as you said, we're in control of really creating the results by the things that we put in place. And working from home is something that can be automated, and it's something that if you do the work up front and you really roll up your sleeves and put in the time and the effort, you really can put yourself in a place where you can have control over your future, over your life, and then you can start doing things to help other people and help, share the things that you learn. And that's really what this whole team that we're working with and how we're building this team is all about. Because, what we want is to, use the tools that we've got to make it so that anybody that's really willing to go shoulder to shoulder with us can have choices. And that's really what most people are looking for, is a way to have the ability to really control their future and do it in a way where they really have balance. Because so many times you're doing something where you're really not enjoying what you're doing, or you're doing something that isn't really you're doing it because you have to, not because you want to. And give it a choice. Everybody out there would really rather be in a position where they could do the things that they want to do and do it with the people that want to. Just like Brian was talking about. Here he went out and took some family time. And by the way, did you bring the baby with on this trip?
Yeah, she's been a little bit with us. She didn't go to the beach with us. She just turned a month yesterday. But a lot of the local stuff that we've done, she came with us. So, taking a baby to an amusement park would be a feat in itself. So, So she didn't make that trip, but I look forward to many, 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 many of them with her. So.
Okay. Well, but the point of the matter is that you had a choice. You decided to go off and do this, and even though you did that, you still had your business running. I know I've been getting, I get emails from you. I see that I've been getting emails from you. You do things on Facebook. You've been texting. You've been posting pictures, and that's really, what we're doing here is building a lifestyle and sharing that lifestyle with people that are looking for what it is that we have to offer. And
yeah, my business didn't skip a beat.
Exactly.
It still ran, even though I was doing what I wanted to do.
Exactly, and that's really the secret here, because I got to tell you, I've been in other businesses. I've done other home businesses, and either the business model really didn't work, and what happened is I found myself in a position working some other businesses where I was convincing people, and I was really going out and trying to sell to people to get them to see what I saw. And that business model really doesn't work, because what you're doing is you're really trying to convert someone. You're trying to take them from, not even having the idea of what it is that you're doing, and then convincing them through selling that what you're doing is something that they should be doing. And sometimes you will get people started. I know Brian and I were in a business prior to this together, where we were out convincing people. It cost a lot more money to get started. But what happened is, we were willing to do the work. We, did whatever it took, and a lot of people just didn't quite see the vision of it, and they didn't put in the time and the effort. They ran into some of the challenges, and ultimately, because they really weren't necessarily looking for what we had in the first place, and they got in because we had done things to try to convince them. Well, ultimately, when somebody's brought in basically against their will, or they're in a business that they're not necessarily connecting with, because it's something where you're convincing someone, because people don't like to convince people, you're set up to fail. Or I've been in another business where we had it was a vitamin product. And what would happen is I would go out and I would meet with people, or I was running ads, I was doing things to find people that once again weren't necessarily looking for what I was doing. And then I through the process we had three-way calls, we had all the things that really make it very difficult to do the business. And what I mean by a three-way call is, let's say I would get a hold of someone, I would tell them about the business, or I would get them to a presentation. Then after the presentation, what would happen is I would connect with them, and then I would have a third party, a three-way partner, come in and try and close the deal. And what happens when you do something like that is, well, first off, it's very difficult to do, because most people won't answer the phone after you've sent them to a presentation, because they get cold feet. It doesn't resonate with them. I mean, any number of different ways. I mean, remember one thing, that no matter what you're doing, people are looking for a reason to say no. So what you want to do is use your resources, use your tools, and make things look easy, which wasn't what was happening in the other business that I was in. So here I'm out trying to get people interested in this vitamin product, and it was relatively expensive anyways. They were customized vitamins, and it was kind of an interesting concept, but people didn't see results. It was kind of like the emperor had the emperor's new clothes. You would tell them how they were going to get this great health benefit, but ultimately what was happening was they weren't necessarily seeing it. And then when they started getting the bills month after month after month, they started saying, well, you know what? you're a really nice guy, Scott, or, you know, I really want to try and make this business work, but I'm having trouble convincing people. And then the people that I finally do get started or get on the product, they kind of quit after 2 or 3 months because they don't even have a chance of getting a result, or they don't see that their, you know, this health product that they were using, you know, makes them, you know, feel that much better, or they're not seeing immediate results, or they're not losing weight, or they're not doing, you know, whatever the, you know, it was that the product was promising in health and wellness products. Then, you know, it's a difficult business model. So what you want to do is be in a business that you're not wasting your time. I mean, if you want to be a phone clerk or be in a call center, well, go get a job at a call center, and that, you know, pays, you know, I don't know for sure, but under $10 an hour. You know, what you really want to do and where you're best served is be in a business where you have a system that actually works, that does the presentation, that puts you in a position where you're not wasting time by, you know, trying to convince people, and it filters out the people that aren't necessarily looking, or, you know, for one reason or another it doesn't resonate with. Well, that's great, because now you're not wasting your time. And that's, you know, coming full circle. That's why Brian and I are able to do these things. You know, about a couple weeks ago, I, you know, took a few days off at the beginning of the week, and I went to, you know, a small little town up in Michigan. But same thing. My business didn't skip a beat because I'm using the tools, I'm using the resources, and I'm able to do my business because I've done the things to be able to set the tools up and just let them do what they need to do. You know, I put marketing in place, I've got leads coming in, you know, all those things are creating results, and that's what we're doing here. That's what, you know, we've got, and that's a business model that can work. And when you really look at the results and how people are earning more money here than they've ever seen in any other business, you know, at this point here, and by the way, there is an income disclosure, and if not, you want to go to empowernetwork.com/income. They've created 13 millionaires. They've created, you know, something like more than 250 people that have made over $500,000, and then they've got about 100 and almost 150 people that have made over $100,000. And it's because it's working. And it's working because people find, you know, resonate with what this is. So, you know, you're not wasting your time. All you're doing is learning a skill set, which is marketing, and that's, you know, the training that really is here is teaching you how to market. And once you're doing all those things, you can put the tools in place, let the system work for you, and get a result. And that's, you know, comes full circle back to, you know, Brian taking time off this week to spend with his family. But in the meantime, his business isn't skipping a beat. So, you know, what you really want to know is that you're working in a business that gives you the ability to use the system, use the tools, use the training, and then turn that around into results. And then share what you've learned with the people that want to learn it, but you don't want to be out there convincing or bending people's ear, or, you know, trying to, you know, put them into something or a business model that just doesn't even have a chance of working. So I know I went off on a rant there, but, you know, the bottom line is, you know, what we have is a business model that's basically sound. And so many other home businesses, they're built on, you know, a foundation of sand. You know, they're just not on a solid footing. This business is really something completely different, and it pays you to do the work. But there's the rub. You actually have to go through the training and apply the training that you're going through to get the result. So I know you started me off on this thinking about the time that you spent and how we got from where we first started to here. So anything you want to add?
And awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, folks, and, you know, a couple things I want to kind of mention about what Scott said. You know, about, you know, going out and prospecting people and selling them into your deal, or your oh, come join me, and here's why you're going to join me, and everything else. You know, the reason that model is flawed is because you end up wanting it for them more than they want it for themselves. You know, and you want them to succeed more than they want to succeed, and it never works. You know, so what we do is we are trying to put together the best tools out there on the internet for you guys just so you can do exactly what it is that I'm doing or Scott's doing or Debbie or Ken McCall or any of the other leaders we have here, because that way you can just simply follow what we know is working. And it's not a secret. We don't hide anything from anybody. We give you the same traffic we're getting. We show you the exact same funnels we're using, and we give you the exact same system we're using. And we've almost made it, for lack of a better term, idiot-proof. It really is. For anybody willing to actually put in the time and do what they need to do to generate the traffic, our system converts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And what I see a lot of people go and they get so caught up in the no's. Somebody tells them, oh, well, you know what, I don't want to join your business. Okay. I talk to people every day that tell me no, hey, I don't want to join the business right now. And I just say, okay, no problem. Because a couple things. No doesn't mean no forever. It just means no for now. And, this isn't for everybody. Some people, if they don't have that boss standing over their shoulders saying, hey, you need to put some time into your business today, they just won't do it. And you know what? You can't get caught up in all that mess and all that nonsense of, so-and-so it won't do this, or so-and-so doesn't want to join my business. So what? Wish them luck, move on, next, and just move to the next person. Because, what we do is we get people to go to a website and watch a video. That's it. That's all your job is here, and that's all you're concentrating on. And everything needs to be getting people to watch that video. And that's it. And let the video do the selling, telling, convincing. Let the emails do the selling, telling, convincing. All you need to do is get people to a website. And everything we train, everything we teach, everything we show you, everything we put together is an end to that means. So this is the kind of business that anybody, I don't care if you know how to write, if you can turn on your computer, you can do this. I assure you, you can do this. But there's two things that, if you're on our team and you're not getting the results you want, there's two things slowing you down, I guarantee you. You're not putting in the effort and lack of belief. You don't believe that it can happen, and you're not doing the things that are going to make it happen. I see people every day, and it's not just this business, it's all businesses, where they do what's called, they'll work in spurts, where they'll sit there and say, well, hey, I'm going to put in a lot of effort, but I'm only going to do it for about a half a day. And then all of a sudden they walk away and they just stop doing anything. What we focus on here with the We Believe team is what's called consistent effort. You don't have to put in hours and hours and hours a day. You don't have to put in 8 hours a day, 4 to 5, 6, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? It's about putting in consistent effort. If you're only available to work, put 30 minutes a day into your business, that's great, but do it every day. If you're only able to put an hour a day into your business, that's great. Put in an hour a day and make that commitment to yourself that, hey, for an hour a day, I'm going to do whatever it takes that I got to do to get people to watch a video. That's it. That is it. So like if you're a guest here and you're just kind of kicking the tires or looking under the hood saying, hey, I'm getting emails from these guys, or I'm getting emails from somebody saying, hey, look, come check this out, come check this out. I'm telling you, just get started. It's a low price to get yourself going. It's very little, it's very little risk, high-end reward if you're willing to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work and you think that this is some crazy, you joined today, wake up tomorrow, you have all this money in your bank account and you didn't do nothing, this ain't for you. I'll tell you right now, just, this isn't for you. Don't join. But if you're willing to just put in a little bit of work, do what we teach you, how we teach you to do it, you don't have to reinvent a wheel here. Just click the link below, get yourself started, and I'm telling you, lock arms with us, because we have more and more tools coming out every week. We have better stuff coming out every week. We're showing you exactly what it is that I'm using to create results, what Scott's using to create results, what everybody on our team is using to create results. We don't hide anything from you, and we're really legitimately here to help you. We really are. I could just as, we do these hangouts to help you and to help you, come here and say, hey, look, what is it that I need to be doing to make a result and live the lifestyle I want to live, to get the freedom that I want to have, to be able to get out of my job that my boss really just uses me to make money, or my boss is always giving me crap, or I can't spend no time with the people I want to spend time with because I'm always strapped to a cubicle or a desk or running around a restaurant or whatever it is you do. Again, it's not join today, wake up tomorrow with $1 million in your bank account. But the idea is you want to use the ends to justify a means. When I first started doing work at home, I had a job full time, working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, but I was still putting time into my business because I knew I wanted to get to where I'm at today. I didn't join a business and then say, well, let me quit my job tomorrow and because I'm making all this money. I put in the work, I did my time, and now I can reap the rewards. And you can do it too. If you're just willing to lock arms with us, do what we teach you to do, and get people to watch a video. It's not it's a way for you to be, one of my favorite lines, it's a way for you to be in business for yourself, just not by yourself. We're here to support you, we're here to help you, we're here to teach you, we're here to mentor you, we're here to help you get to where you want to get. Because for me, I don't need $1 million a year to be happy. I don't. I would much rather see 200 people on our team making $10,000 a month than me making $1 million. Trust me, that's the way. It's just how I'm hardwired. Do I want to make $1 million a month? Sure. Sure, I would love to, but I don't want to do it at the expense of our team, at the expense of the people that join me, because I really, really, really legitimately care if my people and our team has results. I really do. And I assure you, that's something you hardly ever find in this industry. And our whole team is built around what can we do together to help you, the new person or the person that's been on our team a while, get to where they want to get. So, that's my little rant. Scott, why don't you take it away for a little while? And, you hadn't really told your story in a while. Why don't you tell us, what got you started in this, and, what did you do before the world of online marketing and computers?
Well, you know what, and thank you for that, Brian. Actually, I started way back. I've been an entrepreneur probably since I was 12. I had I was selling something door to door. It was like a cleaning product door to door at 12 years old, and it kind of got the bug of being an entrepreneur. And my dad had been in, had his own business. He was in construction, and I guess I was just taught at an early age that the way to really get results and to get ahead is to be working for yourself. And even though I went to college, I actually I went to law school, and when I was in law school, it was just too much of a shock to my whole, I had been away at school, and at college, I moved back in with my parents. I was working, talk about the long hours, and grinding it out, in what law school was. And I had actually started in the car business, prior to going into law school. I was, starting to earn a little extra income on the side. And I just decided that, I did okay in law school, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to take some time here. I'm going to build up some quick income, make some quick money in the car business, and then I'll just go back and finish up. Well, as it worked out, I never did quite get back to law school, but what I really had learned from that was just how to look at things from different ways, and how to really see that there was always going to be two sides, almost always, to everything that's out there. So what I ultimately ended up doing is I was in the car business. I ended up building up my business, and I was there for almost 30 years. And when the economy crashed, I really found myself in a position where I had learned how to weather the storm. I had gone through all kinds of cycles, all kinds of, they had gas shortages, they had, different, interest rates went to 20%. There were all kinds of things that had happened in the economy, but really this was, between the internet and the economy crashing, I knew that, it just wasn't, I wasn't in a place where I felt that I was willing to work longer hours and make less money. It just didn't make sense. And, because I had always been an entrepreneur, I knew that I just never probably would make a really good employee. I just didn't feel like, I could, just go and, be part of, someone telling me what to do. and how to do it, all day long. It's just something I never had done, so I just didn't feel that it was something that I would, really be able to do. Now, I did have a job for a few years, but it was really something where I had pretty much freedom to, have the ability to make decisions, and as long as I was making money for the guy that I was working for, they were good with that. Well, making a long story short, I went out and started some home businesses because, I still always had that itch. And, I had a friend of mine who was in the car business who introduced me to a personal development company. And, people complain about the cost of getting into a business. Well, it turns out in the business that I was in, the very first business that I was in, it cost me $22,000 to get started. That was, what the investment was. And I was doing, I was learning to do some stuff on the internet, but, I was always challenged by marketing. I was always finding that, when I would try to do something online, that either it would change real quickly or I just didn't have enough of the technical background to be able to really get a result. I mean, it's one thing to be able to go out and set up a website. It's another to actually have somebody find you on the internet. What happens is, most of the time is, people get into something where they're doing something online, and because they're using the internet, they just think that they've got to go out and, make up a website. They've got to hire someone to, design the website. They've got to do SEO. They've got to do, new, RSS and all these technical things that really get people stuck to the point where they never get a result. And what happened is, that business, the two owners had some kind of a falling out. Anyways, long story short, that business closed. I started in on another business. I believe that was the health and wellness business where I was doing, vitamins, and I was really working that business. I worked 2 or 3 different businesses from home, and maybe the final straw was I got into a business where we were doing energy deregulation, and what they were doing was basically having us go out and bring in our friends and family and people that we knew and had relationships with, and signing them up as customers for gas or electricity. And the idea was that you were going to have residual for life because you were signing up people into this business, and nobody goes without having electricity or gas, and as long as the price isn't drastically higher, most people will just ignore it and just stay with that. So what happened is the company really was kind of out of integrity, and come the renewals at the time, well, instead of the renewals going to me, I found that the company was sending out letters to the people that I had brought in as customers. It was supposed to be my residual for life, and they were offering them a slightly better deal, and basically they were taking me out of the mix. But I still was challenged by marketing. I knew that the way to get results was to use the internet, to find the best way to market. So I went out looking for a way to market, and I actually ran into a friend of mine who was in Empower. I had looked at Empower in the past, and I wasn't quite ready for it, at the time. It was actually 6 months before I actually got started. But I did one of these, I looked at Empower really with a much more critical eye, and I, took the time to really analyze what it was, and I realized that what Empower had was, what I had learned in all the years that I had been in business, all the schooling that I had had, and that's a real education. And it's a real, nuts and bolts marketing techniques that, you can apply the technology to, because they've actually solved the technology part of it by, giving you a pre-done website with all the things that, will get results. But there was real training here to give actual, real-time marketing skills. And when I started going through the products and I started looking at the compensation plan, and I realized that the business that I was in had changed so drastically, and that they really weren't keeping to their promise, Empower just made more sense. But because I was one of these people that wanted to figure things out, and I was being way too analytical, I really took my time to more analyze than taking action. And if nothing else, what I can tell you is the very best way to get the quickest results here is just build your belief And by building your belief, what you want to do is be attending the webinars like you're doing now. You want to be on the training calls. You want to be really following along and connecting with the community, because that's really where the magic comes from. Everybody wants to know what's the magic dust as to how you go out and market, or what's the secret formula to going out and creating leads. But the real bottom line is, if you do what you're doing with belief, the results will come. And that's really what I found. So I struggled for my first few months because I was really trying to figure it out, rather than allow myself to just believe that it could be real. And what all switched for me, and where my real change came, was when I went to an event. And when I came out of that event, I had made maybe somewhere around $4,000 or $5,000. So I came out of the event, and I did everything with a complete new conviction, a complete new belief. I had been in a room with people that were no different than me, no better. They didn't necessarily have any better skill sets or anything, that really made them, to be any more spectacular. But I looked them in the eye, and I realized that, they were there with belief, and that if I was going to make this work, I was going to have to do something to really take it from where I was thinking about it to just believing it. So what I kind of say is, I went from having it in my head to having it in my heart. Once I had that shift, and I did the work to allow that shift to happen, that's where my results came from. And what happened is, from that one event till now, I've made over $96,000 just in that period of time. So it really shows you that what we're doing works, but it works because I'm consistently working the business. So what I can tell you is how I got here was I started out as an entrepreneur. I'm still an entrepreneur, but now I'm actually in a position where what we're doing is we're able to take what we have here, work together on it as a team, and really go arm in arm with the people that are stepping up, that really want to be with us. We're not here to convince anybody. We're really here to work alongside everybody. So like Brian was saying earlier, when we discover tools, or anything that we find that works, well, we use them. As a matter of fact, I was shooting some videos today using the training that we had we had shared last week, and I've got my little sheet, and I'm going through it point by point, and I can see that as I'm practicing it, I'm getting better. And the videos have a little more structure, because what I found in the past, I would sit down and do a video and they didn't have structure. Well, that's the kind of teaching, that's the kind of sharing that will get results, because I know maybe my first few videos may not be quite as smooth as I would want them to be, but they're real. So I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to fumble through a word. I'm going to maybe not have those as much impact, but you know what? I'll do it again, and then I'll do it again and again and again, and eventually I'll get to the point where I'll really feel comfortable, and the results will come. So what I can say is, the way to results and the way that I've been able to get success is I don't quit. I don't allow a speed bump to become bigger than it needs to be. What it really is a learning experience, and the way to get to success is focus on your goals, not on the things that may not be going as well as you want, but that's all right, because you're learning from that experience. So what I can say is this is an education that is like no other that you can get anywhere else. I mean, we have real nuts and bolts training, but the thing that it takes is just deciding to do it with purpose, with focus, and that's really how this business can grow for everybody. And that's what we're here to do. And we do have a vision. We want 8 people to hit that $100,000 level by the end of the year, which means that's $8,000 a month. And there's no reason at all that we can't do this. Now, what I can tell you is my biggest month so far in this business was September of last year. So for those of you who are, just kind of in the summer, distraction, if you will, this is the time to get back to be refocused, because in the fall, a lot of people are looking, and this is the time to do that. And, the other thing that I definitely, by the way, I want everybody to know, they have opened up the back office, and the tickets are available for Orlando. and make sure that you get your tickets and get your hotel room, because you want to be as close as possible to the event. And this is going to be something spectacular. This is the 3-year anniversary of this company. It shows that this company has the ability to really survive and thrive. And the results this company has got is something that's never been seen before. So make sure that you're there, because it really will change your business. It changed for me by going to an event, and it can definitely change for you by being there. You want to be at that event. You want to be getting the information of whatever it is that they're going to be doing firsthand, and you want to have happen to you what happened to me, where you walk into a room with people that you meet, and some of the people maybe you've heard on some of the calls, and you realize that what, they are really no different, no better, no more talented than you are. They've just gotten they've taken what they learned, they applied it, and they did it with belief, and they're just creating results. But what, there is no shortage of room for success stories in this business, and especially in this company. This company really is very unique in the fact that it has no agenda other than to make us as representatives, the people in the field, the most successful that they possibly can be. And when you hear when the founder of the company operates under that premise, well, that's where you're in some place that no other opportunity has out there. Companies that I was in before, they all had issues because there was another agenda. In other words, it was either to build up the company and sell it, or the partners were fighting, and they one guy wanted to do it this way, one guy wanted to do it another way. The other one was, it was a publicly traded company that owned one of the companies, and they were out there to steal customers, and they just were using us for that. Well, this company, we don't have any of that. We've got one guy at the top who shares whatever it is that he knows, and he has an agenda that is to have the richest team. Now, that's completely upside down to any other business out there. Most of the time it's all about the fame and the glory and the everything for the guy at the top. Well, the guy at the top here is doing just fine because he's focusing on everybody else, and that's really what we have here. So that's my story. That's how I got here. And the good thing is, even though I'm I didn't grow up with computers, I have my technological challenges, I find a way to get it together. I find a way to make the internet work, and that really shows you that anybody can do this, because if I could do this, you can do this. I'm certainly nobody special, but I am here to help you, and that's really what we're here for. That's our agenda, is to share the vision of what we're doing with as many people as we possibly can and have them get to results. But you do need to do the work here. I mean, the things that we're talking about, getting to Orlando, that's part of doing the work. Commit yourself to this business and do it with real focus for a very short period of time, and you can have whatever it is that you want. It's truly possible, and it just comes from you making a decision and then really working with a purpose and a focus. And that's what we can, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for more people to be doing these hangouts with us. I mean, to be honest with you, we want as many possible leaders to get involved with us as we possibly can have. So, that means everybody that's on the line with us, you all have the possibility of, just joining with us and really taking, what we're doing together here. And you know what? If you find something that works, please share it with the rest of the group. That's really what we're looking for. We don't have all the answers. But we don't quit when we run into a problem. So that's my story, and that's how I got here.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that, Scott. And guys, it's not rocket science. It really isn't. None of us are geniuses. None of us are, the smartest guy in the room or anything else. But what we do have is passion. Okay, we've decided, hey, look, we want to do this. It's got a. I'm getting a little feedback there.
It could be me.
We want you guys legitimately to succeed. We really do. And we'll do whatever we can to help you get there. as long as you're willing to walk side by side with us, you know. And this company is really, really, really has its heart in the right place, and that's why
rocket science
that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm excited, and that's why we have this team here. And really, you know, this is your chance to really lock arms and say, hey, whatever, you know, wherever I want to get and whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And if you get that attitude going and just say to yourself, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to get to where I want to get. Nothing's going to stop me. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get to wherever it is I want to get. And I'm telling you, you become an unstoppable force. And that's such a beautiful thing when I see it, you know, with our teammates. When it happens, I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, and Scott mentioned Orlando. I mean, get there. You know, it doesn't get any, you know, a lot of people, I've talked to a couple people on our team, and they're like, well, you know, I don't know. I'm going to try to get there. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that. You know, now's the time when you want to plan it. Now's the time you want to go buy your ticket. Now's the time you want to book your flight. You want to get your room set up, you know, and then because it doesn't get any cheaper, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't, you know, if you don't make the decision now, trust me, a month from now it's not going to change. You'll be like, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know, just make the decision. Say, look, I'm going to get to Orlando. I'm going to get my ticket for the event. I'm going to book my flight. I'm going to book my hotel, and I'm going to be in the room. You know, if you don't have a product, or, you know, let's say that you just got started and you're only sitting at the basic level. Figure out a way to get to the next level right now. Get yourself, start getting upgraded. Because as you do it, you get better training, you get better systems, you get better, you know, you have a chance to make bigger residual or bigger incomes, and trust me, your belief level goes up. All right, because now all of a sudden you're able to access higher end products, and I'm telling you, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what is going to be said at what particular time that the light bulb goes off. All right, you don't know when that's going to happen, and when it happens, I'm telling you, everything just clicks into place. It's absolutely incredible. And for me, I'll tell you, for me, it was in Denver. And I can still remember. It was actually Tracy Walker was talking, and for me, it just clicked. It really clicked. You know, even though I was in Chicago and I was in the company, you know, I think by the time Denver, I was in Chicago I was in the company for about 3 months, and I was doing everything. But I'm telling you, when I heard her talking, it just clicked. It absolutely clicked. And for me, that was the point of no return. That was when I said, hey, I don't care about anything else. I am going to make this happen come hell or high water. Nothing's going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me. The people that say, oh, you're crazy, what are you doing messing with one of those pyramid things? You know, all of them, you know, plug your ears if you got sensitive ears. They can all go to hell because I don't care. Because I'm not going to let somebody stop me from reaching my dream. Somebody stop me from getting to where I want to get. Have anybody stop me from getting my full potential and living the life I want to live. You know, if you know, I have people that tell me I'm nuts every day, and you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Because for me, there is no other option than to get to my dream, because it's there, and I'm going to grab it. And if you come with me, don't come with me, I don't care. You know, believe in me, don't believe in me, I don't care. Because I'm not looking for somebody to say, hey, it's okay. I'm not looking for people to say, oh, you know what, go do it. Because, you know what, at the end of the day, it's my life, and it's my dream, it's my vision, and it's my responsibility to get me there. You know, most people, I swear, I don't understand it. You know, they say, oh, well, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could do that. And you know what? The reality is, you can do anything you want to do. Anything. I don't care how big or how small it is. You can do it. You just got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and put in the work. You got to be willing to pay the price. You know, when Steve Jobs was starting Apple in his parents' garage, everyone told me he was nuts. Oh, you can't build a computer. You know, computers are for big businesses, and, you know, they need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these systems, and they're going to tie up, you know, you need to have a room the size of 20 by 20 just to put the server in there. You can't make a personal computer that the mainstream people can use. You know what he said? Forget it. I'm going to do it because I believe I can. And there he was in his parents' garage building that computer out of a box, out of a piece of wood. He built a computer in a piece of wood with a little LCD screen on the top of it because he knew he could, because he had the vision, and he didn't care. He didn't care who was going to say, hey, look, you're nuts. You know, the Wright brothers. How many people you think told the Wright brothers that they were nuts? That, man, there's no way that you're going to build a contraption that can take men and make them fly. You're out of your freaking minds. What are you thinking? You know, they were probably, you know, hey, go. Why are you wasting your time with that stuff for? You know what? And they said, you know what? I can do it, and I'm going to do it. And they did. You know, every great leader, every great business, every great thing in this planet has always started with an idea of somebody saying, hey, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. You know, the first guy over the wall always gets bloody. Always. But you know what? They're the ones that reap the rewards once they get themselves over the wall. So get yourself over the wall. You know, it's your dream. You deserve it. You need it. You want it. Go friggin' get it, and don't let anybody stop you. You know what? When I first started, I'm telling you, I had no time. I had no patience. I had some money, but I didn't have a lot of money. I had family that was unsupportive. My wife thought I was insane. When I said, hey, honey, I'm going to quit my 6-figure job and start doing this online marketing thing, she thought I was freaking nuts. She was like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Go back to work. And I said, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. You know, and, you know, she got supportive when I started creating results. You know, you're going to have naysayers out there. You're going to. The secret is just tune them out. Tune them out. Because you know what? All that is they are not aligned with your vision and your dream. You know, that's all that is. That's somebody saying, hey, look, you know, that's great. Oh, yeah, you got a dream. Oh, that's great. But you know what? I don't think your dream is important because your dream is not important to anybody else but yourself. And unfortunately, that's just a cold, hard reality of life. But I'm telling you, it's funny, when you first start off going somewhere, or you first start off doing something, everyone says you're nuts. And they say, oh, well, you're going to fail, and why are you bothering? You shouldn't do it. And then all of a sudden you start reaching the top of the mountain, and all those people want to be your friend. They're all like, oh, my God, you know, you're awesome, you're amazing, you know, we should hang out, we should be best buddies, you know, because now all of a sudden they want what you got. But they're not willing to pay the price. So you got to ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to go out and stretch and scrimp and save and, you know, take out a little debt to get that next product? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to go out there and maybe buy some ads you can't afford right now because you know that your business needs it to get going? You know, because the true definition of insanity is keep doing what you're doing, expecting a different result. I assure you, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get what you got right now. Because what your best thinking has got you to right where you're at right now. Your effort has got you to right where you're at right now. And if you don't change it, nobody's going to change it for you. Come and sprinkle a magic wand or grab some magic fairy dust, drop it on your head and say, guess what? Here's your dream. Here's your dream. It's all wrapped in this pretty box with a nice bow on it for you. If you want it, go get it because you deserve it. I'm telling you, you deserve it. And I believe in you. I believe that you can do it. If you are willing to put in the work, I will work side by side right with you. Call me, email me, let me know what you need from me, and I'll give it to you as long as you're willing to put in the work. So that's my rant, Scott. You know, I'm so excited, and I'm telling you, get to Orlando because there is some big things going to happen. This team is going to be blowing up in Orlando. We're going to get an army there. Whether you come or not is up to you, but I'm telling you, we're going to have an army there, and I want you to be part of that army. If you're not, that's on you. That is absolutely on you because we got some tools coming out for the team. We got some presentations coming for the team. We got some things coming for the team that's going to blow your mind and knock your socks clean off your feet. So, strap in, grab a helmet because we're going, and we're going full force. So, that's what I got.
Well, thank you for that, Brian. And you hit on a very interesting point. And first off, where the real results come from are doing the things that most people don't understand initially why they're doing them. And that's really work on yourself, because it comes from building the belief, building building yourself up. And that's where all the 8 core steps are there for a reason. So when it comes down to reading books, listening to the Inner Circle audios, being on the calls, and I have to commend everybody here on the team that's here, or anybody that's going to be listening to this recorded. That's where the results come from. Everybody wants to know, well, where's the secret? Where's that secret source of leads? Well, it's not about the secret source of leads. What it really is about having that inner belief, that vision of what it is that you're here for, why you're here, and focusing on that, and then using the resources that we're going to share with you, such as reading books, going to the events, listening to the Inner Circles. And I got to be honest with you, I've been listening. I went back to the very beginning of the Inner Circles, and if you guys have not gone there, I definitely recommend it. I would go back to the very, very beginning of the Inner Circle. There's some tremendous training in there, because what you really got was, something that was kind of raw, where they were really totally over-delivering, and that was, Dave Wood and Dave Sharp, before they even announced or launched Empower, they were holding webinars, and they did this on an ongoing basis for about 2-3 months before Empower actually launched, and they were encouraging people to get to Orlando. This is the 3-year anniversary. We're going back to their roots of where they started. But there's some training in there that's just, probably some of the best training of all the Inner Circle audios. And, it's in the Inner Circle Rewind. I think they've, broken it down. But, I got to tell you, I've gone back and listened to those a couple of times, and every time I listen, I pick up new things. I pick up new golden nuggets. But, I also connect with the vision of what these guys really had in mind, and what they were sharing with everyone. And they were really, they knew what they were doing, but they couldn't tell everybody that it was going to be Empower, because they were pre-launch. They hadn't really, even set themselves up to launch. And, what they've done is, created something that's grown and is really hardly only getting started, because, when you've got the resources that they've put together, the talent that they've brought in to, do whatever they need to do to grow this company, they're getting better at this. And, we're seeing it. I've seen Dave Wood transform. I've seen him get more powerful, more clear, more focused on what it takes to grow this business and help us in any ways that he can. You go back to the one story I kind of want to expand on, because I know we got to watch our time. There's going to be another webinar for all of you that are all in. Watch your email. There's going to be a link in there for a webinar that starts here at the top of the hour. But the Wright brothers were not the only ones that were trying to build an airplane at the time. As a matter of fact, they had the least amount of technical background. They owned a bicycle shop. They didn't have money. I mean, they were literally begging and borrowing and stealing money. And I don't know the name of the guy, but it was in a book that I was reading. There was another guy that was really a well-known entrepreneur. He was an inventor. He had this team of engineers. He was really well funded, and he was in it for his own glory. That was really what he was there for. He wanted to be the guy that invented flight, and he had this team that he put together. He was well financed, and he had partners and all these things, but they were in it just to make money. And the Wright brothers were in it to change the world. They were in it to have man fly, and they didn't quit. They went out with a vision. And it's kind of funny because here they were the first ones to actually get an airplane to fly, and it wasn't even that far. I think they went all of 150 feet or something like that, maybe 20 feet off the ground. But they accomplished it. And the guy that was his the competitor, well, he ended up totally abandoning the whole project, even though maybe he could have improved on it, because he didn't have the vision. He was just doing it for his own agenda, and it wasn't to do something to really create a change in the world. And that's really what we have here. So, what I want to encourage you to do is really look inside yourself and think about what it is that you really, really want. You know, your why. And don't let anything stand in the way of that, because that's really what you deserve, and that's what you can have here. And, we're here to work side by side with you. And, I got to give a big shout out to Ken McCall. He's been just, knocking the cover off the ball, signing up people left and right. And, he's just stayed consistent. I mean, I got to give him credit. He has just stayed the course, and he just consistently keeps doing whatever, it takes to get the results, and he's growing his business and getting results. So, that's what I got, and, I do want you to make that decision to really, do this with belief and allow the results to come to you. And, it can turn around very quickly for you, because it did for me. And I got to tell you, when I go back to, like I said, my biggest month was in September. Well, I had an $18,000 month in September, and I had never had that happen before. So there's no reason that anybody here can't have those same results. So this is the time to really do the work. So that's what I've got. I want to thank you all for coming out and sharing with us. We've got some other stuff planned for next week. Stay tuned in the Facebook group. We want you to really be connected there. And this is your team. This is not my team, Brian's team, or anything else. We're doing this together, and we really want you all to share in what we have here. So thank you for sharing with us. And Brian, any closing thoughts?
No, just same thing. I want to thank you all for spending some time with us tonight, and spend an hour with us. We're going to be hopping on the All In webinar here in a couple minutes. So if you're all in, make sure that you hop on the webinar. If you're not all in, then start working your way towards that so you can get some of these special trainings. Make sure that you start making your plans for Orlando right now. Like I said, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get any cheaper. Flights, we're talking 3 months out or 2.5 months out. I mean, you can start getting, Orlando's a pretty busy hub, and usually flights are relatively inexpensive as long as you're not trying to do it last minute. So start making your plans. If you haven't got started with us, click the link below. Click the Register Now link and get started with whoever invited you here, and lock arms with us, because we're moving forward, and we want to bring you with us. So that's all I got. I want to thank everyone for being here, and you guys have a fantastic evening.
Have a great night, everybody.